All right, so I'm currently on the phone with Veer. He's another musician that reached out about the interview series. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
Hi guys, my name is Veer Mulraj and I'm a music composer, producer and a mix engineer from Mumbai, India.
Excellent. So give me a bit of detail about how you first got into music. When did you first kind of connect with it, and what about it inspired you to want to participate in music?
So the thing was that during school days, I would always sing in the school annual functions. And that time I wanted to become a singer when I grew up. But then what happened, if you knew sometime around 2006, 2007, we used to have this site called cooltoad.com. So from there, I used to download karaoke tracks to sing along to. So the person who used to make the tracks, that time we had Orkut. So I found him on Orkut and I was really eager to know that what exactly goes into making these kind of karaoke tracks of all these film songs that I used to be singing the Bollywood tracks. So he offered to teach me and I used to go to Bangalore to learn. So I used to go over there only during my school holidays. So I used to go there once my exams got over. I used to stay there for 3 to 4 days. And I used to learn with him in his studio. I used to come back, practice for 6 months, and then again go back. And this kept on going on from 2008 to 2013 or so. And in 2013, the True School of Music opened in South Bombay, where I stay. So over there, they were offering a much more advanced course on music production. So I went over there to pursue my music production. And 2013 to 15, I did my course. And then in 2017, I renovated my bedroom into a home studio.
Okay, so you kind of mentioned there that you started with an interest in singing and then developed that into production. Did you ever learn any instruments or spend any time trying to figure that out?
Yes, I learned while I was in school because since I was doing this thing in Bangalore, I had to learn keyboard to know the basics of music production because without learning keyboard, I cannot understand the scales and chords and I wouldn't be able to even make the karaoke track.
Sure,
So
definitely.
I learned the basics of keyboard. I learned the basics of keyboard in 2009 till about 2011. Then once I graduated from my college in 2012, I did an internship at a radio station called 92.7 Big FM. Over there, I actually learned, how do you cut voiceovers for radio? How do you edit the vocals? Like that time they were using Nuendo. So how would you edit all your vocals? How would you create jingles and backing tracks for radio? So I've learned everything over there. How to record voiceover artists, how to operate on the mixer. So all these things I had learned over there.
Excellent. And so, since you spent a lot of time in the educational environment, learning how to do the technical side of it, how do you feel about your approach to the creative side of it, making your own music, and putting that stuff out there?
So that is a very interesting point because one person who I met from the industry, I used to make karaoke tracks, and he had told me that if you want to get known and if you want to start putting out your own work, then you have to start creating your own music and not something else that somebody else has already created. Because what is a karaoke track? It is just let's say a film song, let's say an Adele track. Okay, let's say Adele Hello. I'm playing the same chords that the original person has played. I'm not putting in my own creativity. In my own music, I can do whatever I want. I can change the key, I can change the scale, I can I can just experiment and I can just let my creativity flow without having any restrictions.
Sure. So, do you feel that all the technical knowledge that you gained kind of helped you in your own creative endeavors?
Completely, it did a lot. In fact, like I learned so much that now I know that what to break and what not to break. Because the thing is, when I started learning about mixing, mastering, I used to learn a lot. I used to read a lot on these YouTube videos, and over there they had a lot of all these introductions. And they had all these kind of gimmicky rules that you shouldn't be boosting more than 3 to 4 dB on an EQ, or you don't need to compress everything, or And I was like, okay, so I tried that. But then what I did was I just started experimenting by seeing other videos, and I started pushing things a little bit harder to see what sound I can get. And what I noticed was that once I actually go above and beyond the said quote unquote rules, I can get a lot more excitement from my music than I would have got if I would have just followed those rules.
Sure, absolutely. So, where do you think that kind of led you? Obviously, you have your own production studio that you're working with, but are you
Yes.
also producing your own music and publishing that
Yes.
as well?
Yes. So the studio that I'm working with is my own home studio. It's called VM Studios. So over here, I not only create music for my own self, but I also create cover songs for clients, or I create original music for clients, or like if they want to do a voiceover recording, or if they have a jingle to do. So I get all that. I provide all those services basically.
Excellent. So, do you have a bunch of clients that come into your studio, or do you do it mostly
Yes.
online? Okay. So, give me a bit of detail about that.
So I once my studio opened in 2017, I listed myself on Google because Google is free. So most of the business that comes to me, people find me on Google and they come to me through that. And the other people obviously come to me through referrals, word of mouth, or maybe they see some of my music on Instagram and they contact me. So that's how I get my clientele.
Okay. And then how do you kind of envision your approach to your own music and your own creativity? Do you see yourself as a solo musician, or do you want to work with other musicians and do like live shows and things like that?
I would love to work with other musicians. Like I'm open to doing both because like when I'm a solo, even though I'm a solo person as a producer, like I can my primary instrument is keyboard. So if I would want a guitarist, then I would call a guitarist to play on my song. Or if I would want a drummer, I would call a drummer to play on my song. Like if I want another vocalist, which I usually do is that I make other people sing for my tracks. So it's not only me who's working on the song, but it is also the other two, three people or three, four people who I'm involving who are equally according distributing to the song.
Okay. But that is that all like internet collaboration kind of stuff, or do you do that in an effort to like get a full lineup for a band so you can start playing gigs?
No, I don't have an effort and I don't have a lineup for a band kind of thing because I would like to mostly do studio work.
Okay, sure. So how often would you say that you publish a song or a collection of songs, since you do focus mainly on studio?
Well, it depends. Like my last song that was published on Spotify, that was on 5th of August. And before that, I had done it last year in December. So like maybe you can say like in 3, 4 months, one song, because like, I can publish songs every month, but I don't want to do it just for the heck of it. Like once I know that I have a good song, even if it takes 1 or 2 months, I rather publish the song once or twice in a month that people will like rather than keep on posting music that people might not like.
Sure, definitely. And you can't release too often, or else people, they'll kind of just glaze over it.
Because I don't want to just because if I'm uploading like let's say if I'm uploading a song on Spotify, I want to be sure that I myself like the song before I can release it to the world.
Sure, definitely. So, do you have a specific like group name or creative name that you release your material under, or is it just under your name?
Under my name.
Okay. So why don't you tell me a bit about the type of music and the style of music that you're making? Obviously, you're doing it collaboratively with a bunch of musicians, but what's kind of your artistic vision for it?
So I mainly make pop rock tracks, and they are mainly like the slow love ballad type of songs because I feel that that is where my emotion of making the song comes out the best. Like I can make a dance track and I can make something of hip hop, but that kind of feel that I would get in a pop song in like let's say in a song between 80 to 85 BPM. Like maybe I would not get that kind of feel in a fast tempo track that I'm trying to make. Of course, I will make it, if I have to. But I feel that my best work comes out in these pop rock songs.
So with all of the time you spent in music education and everything, and then also making music in a collaborative setting, what are some of your memories that stand out to you the most and keep you motivated?
So, of course, while I'm making the music, I'm also on my phone. I'm even writing the lyrics for the song. So, like, sometimes if I get a good lyric, like, I'll write maybe three, four lines and I'll try to hum the melody. If I like it, then great. If I don't, then I start over from scratch. And I've sometimes either I will write the lyrics first or sometimes I'll make the tune first. But most of the times it just happens. It just happens organically, and I don't really feel that I need to like break the two separately because it's all going into one motion as well. So my amazing memories of those, of course, it's all about working with the artist, that that if the artist is good and if your song is good, then whatever memories have been made during that song are going to last you a lifetime.
Definitely. So you would kind of say that every song you've done kind of contributes to all of your memories as a whole, kind of thing.
Yes, yes.
All right. So what are some of the social media links where people can find your studio or find your work and follow you?
So yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for all my music, and I also send you my Spotify. So if you want to find my studio, you can find it on my Facebook page, which I'll send it to you, and also on my Instagram handle, which I'll send you as well. And for my music, you can contact me on you can follow me either on Spotify. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Awesome. So I always like to give the person that I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last word. So just a message that you feel you resonate with that you want to put out there.
You cannot create magic twice. So if you feel that whatever you have made and in that moment it is sounding good to you, I feel that according to your first instinct, you should always go with what sounds best. Because if you of course, you have to take breaks and you have to try and come back the next day and evaluate. But, like if you try to recreate that magic the next time when you come back at your desk that you had the first initial vision, I don't think you'll be able to get it because, as I said, you cannot create magic twice. And moments like these are the ones that you will actually remember.